So whenever you're ready.
How did Brad look to you tonight? And looked pretty good.
Looked great. Well rested, I guess.
Yeah. How did he come back so sharp?
Once again, he's kind of been in these situations before. He's 10 years in the NBA. I think he knows how to kind of keep his body right, keep himself ready. It's just the sign of a professional. It's never ideal to miss game action, but you can do some things to kind of keep yourself mentally sharp, physically in tune. But there's no way to replicate run up and down the floor, getting hit, and moving and cutting, changing speeds. So there was some fatigue early, but he didn't lose any pop or any bounce, or he looked sharp.
I know you weren't here last year, but this team went through an extended outbreak, and some of the guys who came back, it took them a while to kind of regain their rhythm. And is there anything you guys do now or differently that this kind of helps that cause, that maybe they learned from that experience?
Well, maybe they learned individually, but there's nothing we can do when they're sequestered at home. Or I talked to Pope. He said basically we stuck in the basement for 6 days. So I'm not sure how much there is to do there, but everybody last 2 seasons really has gone through this to some degree. And I think we kind of take some of those experiences and we're better for it, but still not ideal.
Wes, did you notice anything about Brad's movement tonight? He looked, and his passing, I guess he looked really sharp in a way where he just looked a little bit more sure-footed, I guess.
We've seen him like that at times. So, I was pleased, to your point, that after missing so much time, he was able to just kind of jump back in and fit seamlessly. But I don't think it's anything unique to him or his game. I think it's he's able to do it, and he's done it at a high level. So I think it's great.
Wes, what did you see from the other Brad want to make there? I know the
other Brad.
You relied on him.
Yeah. Once again, he's been there. He's done it. He's been on the roster. He's been a rotation guy for some years. He's played in big moments in Europe and was on the Celtics in the playoffs in the bubble. So this isn't anything special. He's been around. I think he gets it. He understands his impact and how he can help a team. So it's good to have another body out there, a guy who's seasoned enough to get you through some situations. He doesn't know all the offense, but he was able to keep us organized, which is good.
How much are you involved in the conversation when the front office is bringing in a player?
We talk constantly. Tommy and I are, we talk a few times a day. Whether it's face to face or text or phone. But these types of situations are fluid because sometimes those calls have to be, they unfold within an hour. You find out there's a positive test. Okay, well, what do we do? So there are a lot of moving parts, and I got to give him and his staff a lot of credit because they've kind of helped us ease through this. This is hasn't been easy, and trying to figure out the protocols, the changes in what those look like. How does it affect us? How do we practice? If and when we can. What are the rules, and how do we get guys back? So there's so many moving parts that I need those guys to kind of help guide me through it.
Well, it's been reported by a very esteemed reporter that Brad got one dose of the vaccine. So, what kind of food? No pun intended. What kind of food does it give the team to know that its leader has gotten at least some protection?
Well, honestly, I don't have confirmation on that. It's tough for me to comment on. I never want to get into someone's vaccination status, or if it's true, great. I think it's terrific. But I think it's just one of those things. It's a personal choice. The guy has to kind of work through it. But we're all educated as far as the benefits of it, and where we stand and what the guidelines are. So I think that's an important thing. The sooner the better for everybody. But I don't want to kind of get into individual players' status at this point. If that's true, then it's terrific.
We saw with regard to Gak, yet another time where, as happens often, he was sent to block shots. came down on someone's foot,
Mhm.
rolling it, and then he came back again. What does that show you that he does that repeatedly and seems to have that toughness?
Well, it's good. I mean, I think it's at this point in the season, I don't think anyone's without bumps and bruises. So obviously, we're all kind of dealing and navigating through COVID, but I don't think there's anyone out there who feels, rested, and that's just the nature of it. So you're gonna have to play at some point through a little discomfort, at times through pain. No one's asking you to play hurt, but it's just a great sign. A guy who is going to push himself for the benefit of the team. It's a sign of maturity, and it's a sign of toughness that a guy can kind of gut through his own discomfort, for the benefit of everybody.
We saw Denny playing point guard on offense and then guarding bigs on defense for an extended stretch. When you're missing players at basically every position, how valuable is that?
Oh, it's a good experience for him, and we've put the ball in his hands at times, throughout the season, but to do it for, extended period is going to be new for him. Brad's obviously shown he's capable, but you want to kind of move Brad off the ball at times so, he can get in catch and shoot situations and, use him in that regard. So you need that other ball handler. Denny's done a pretty good job of handling that. He's going to have to navigate some pressure at times. Team's going to start picking him up. And it's also, a next step for him to be able to get guys to spots and organize the offense. He hasn't really been in that spot a lot outside of those specific plays that put him, as a secondary ball handler.
How were you able to limit Evan Mobley in the second half today?
You know what? I thought Gaff did a better job of meeting him early, being more physical, pushing him off his spot a little bit in the post. It's a shame. I was talking to the other coaches. Every time we play Cleveland, I feel like he's gotten better. And he shows a little bit more each time, which is a little bit scary because the kid's really talented. But I thought Gaff did a pretty good job. We were a little bit more active in our digs and giving a little bit more help. But he's going to be a problem. So I think it's going to be a point of emphasis for us to do your work early. Try to make things uncomfortable, get into him, trying to push him off the spots a bit. But I thought Gaff did a much better job the second half.
You mentioned that kind of playing in the half court, especially against this team, is going to be pretty important on offense. What did you make of the half court offense so far?
Overall, it was solid. I know they're missing a few guys, and that detracts a little bit from what they do. But they're still a solid defensive team. I give our guys credit. We were able to keep ourselves spaced, limit our turnovers. I think 8 for 5 points, which is great. So we got shots to the rim, opened up looks, and obviously Brad had a big night. Pope stepped up and made big shots. Kyle made some big plays for us as well. So all around, I thought it was a great team win.
Moises?
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win to start off. A lot of positive things happened tonight, but I guess one of the things that a lot of people are talking about online is the fact that you have a young man, Jaime Echenique, Colombian, the first Colombian, didn't get any points, but what was it for you to have him on the floor? And what do you see in this guy?
No, it was great. We kind of celebrated a little bit this morning, after we told him. We were unable to have like a shoot around, but we could have like a massed walkthrough where guys just kind of talking through the offense and defense philosophies. He was super excited. And I said, look, you have no idea the impact of this. Being the first, of anything's remarkable in itself. But, to do that and be the first in your country is incredible. So he was really excited. I'm really happy for him. We've had him since Summer League. And he's another one of those kids where, from day one, you saw him get better every day. His effort and attention to detail. He brings a smile every day. So he's a joy to be around. So I think it's great for him. It's good for our locker room. And obviously, he's been terrific for the Go-Go. But to be rewarded in this sense is that's part of the process. That's why you go through some of the tough times and some of the uncertain times. And to see it kind of play out for him is terrific.
Neil?
Hey, Coach, what do you think allowed Kyle to be so successful tonight?
His level of aggression. I thought, he played downhill. He was aggressive early, and he stayed in attack mode. Didn't force the issue, but took advantage of his ability to play off the bounce. And at times they put size on him. He's able to maneuver around those guys. So I really liked his level of aggression. In fact, for the most part, we took care of the ball.
Raphael.
Coach, with Brad, hope you're well. With Bradley Beal back tonight, he led on points and assists. How would you describe his role, his growth, and what do you think he brings on the team?
Well, I mean, I think we've all kind of seen his growth, over the last 10 years. I mean, of course, I've seen some of that from afar, but I think for, just this short season, he's a leader. At times it's not always easy, because they're going to put multiple bodies on him. They're going to show him a lot of looks and try to junk it up for him. But he's just able to kind of steady us. Obviously he's our best player. So to have him back is uplifting within itself. The fact that he'd come back and not miss a beat, it was big for us tonight. But, as a playmaker, we've seen it time and time again. He's a willing playmaker. And I think once, that ball starts moving, everyone benefits from it. And we, of course, know that he's capable of getting a shot at any point. But he didn't force the issue. He doesn't chase shots. We try to put him in position to be a facilitator as well, but also to stay aggressive. And he did that tonight.
With Jaime on the team, what role does he bring to the Wizards?
Well, he's going to be a secondary big. We're down a few bodies. And I think, with his size, agility, he's shown the knack for the ball and able to rebound. He's got a nice touch around the paint, really good feet, agility, and nice touch, probably 15 to 18 feet. We're not going to ask him to score. We're just kind of, find his way through the system, but take advantage of those opportunities, defend at a high level, rebound the ball. You have to screen and get guys open. And obviously if you screen well, you'll benefit from it.
Thank you, Coach.
Last question to Brianna.
Hey, Coach. Tonight wasn't the best shooting night for Corey, but he's currently on the court right now, getting some shots up. I mean, what can you say about his persistence?
Say that last part again. I'm sorry.
What can you say about his persistence?
I'm sorry. I still couldn't hear you.
His persistence. What can you
His
say
persistence. I'm sorry.
No,
You know what? I think that's it's just a kind of a glimpse at who he is. He's a worker. And, I think he's a little frustrated that those shots haven't gone down. It's certainly not for the lack of effort, but, he puts the time in every day. So regardless of whether they go in the game or not, all of us, coaches, his teammates, we trust him. We trust that he's going to make the right play. He's going to try and, if he doesn't like it, he's going to drive it. He's done a nice job of finishing in the paint, finishing through contact, but, he's going to kind of play his own game and he's not going to force the issue. If he keeps taking those right types of shots, I'll live with it, and I think he's shown he can step up and make them. Right now is, a little bit of a struggle, but that's okay. He'll get his rhythm back and he'll start knocking those shots down soon.
That's it, Coach. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Jaime, first of all, congratulations on your debut and making history for your country. What can you say about just this experience?
Man, I'm just, I'm out of words. It just means so much at this point in my life that it doesn't matter all the obstacles I have to pass in life, all those things just came to this moment, man. Those are the things that you really appreciate in life and make you just keep going and keep being hungry. January the 4th was a day that I'm never gonna forget about it. That's when I tore my patellar tendon this year, and being in Spain, and you think that the adversity just comes your way when you are in your best moment. And I don't know how many months later, like 11, 12 months later, you come up here, you debut, being in the NBA. It's just an amazing feeling. God is great, man.
Celebration, like Wes said, you guys had a little celebration this morning.
Man, it's just appreciating the opportunities. It's a crazy time for us, for everybody. So all the guys that are being called up are taking advantage of the opportunities, and and over time, it's being rewarded by this.
How do you handle that moment where you're going to be in, it's not going to be a long stretch of time, you know you have to make an opportunity, but you also can't go crazy out there.
Yeah.
Play wild.
That's when you are professional. That's when you keep your composure and understanding that you need to do your role and do it at the best. My role is communicating, telling people to locate in the core, grabbing rebounds, defending, and you cannot let the excitement of the moment take over your head. You have to keep composure, understanding that this is your job and you have to do it at the highest level.
Was your family able to watch?
I think so. It's been a crazy day, man. If I tell you that this morning when I wake up, I had 20 missed calls, and everybody was like trying to reach out to me because, today was actually the day that I decided to stay in bed on bed 15 minutes later, and was the day that I got called up. I have to make it to the arena. It's normally take me 15 minutes. It took me 7 to get there. So it's been just an amazing day, man. It's hell of a year. Best way to close the year, and I'm just happy for me, happy for my family, happy for my country, happy for the people that believe in me, and happy for myself.
Who called you? Who
Man, Coach Mike, my head coach from the capital city Go-Go, Tommy, Amber, teammates, they send people to knock on my door, and it's just crazy, man. It's just.
What does this mean for young Colombian basketball players?
Man, I always been saying, don't let nobody tell you no. If I tell you them how many people closed the doors on me, how many people told me I wasn't good enough, how many people told me I was lazy, how many people told me that I was just tall, just a tall guy, that somebody that was unathletic, and I just put the work in, and I never let those comments get over my head and stop me. Otherwise, I appreciate those people that at some moment they were haters, because I know they are swallowing their words right now.
How many times have you gotten emotional today?
Man, I drove to the arena and I was normal. I called my family, I called my dad, and then when we went to walk through this morning, I was getting in the parking lot and I just couldn't believe it. I just stopped and cried. Like, it just these times of life where you're never gonna forget about it.
Has there been a moment today where you've kind of been able to breathe and kind of relax and take everything in, or is it pretty much been high speed all day? Have you been able to kind of look around and kind of take in what's happening?
Being honest at this point, if I'm dreaming, please don't wake me up. I mean, I've been trying to lock in all day. I knew that I could have an opportunity to play today. Obviously, it's been a fast-paced day, but I'm just trying to, slow it down and take it easy and enjoy it. Enjoy this time of life, because as much as you put the work in, you need to understand that you need to appreciate this moment and enjoy it, because these are the memories you're gonna carry on forever.
We'll go to Zoom. We'll start with Moises.
Jaime, ¿cómo estás? Felicidades por el gran logro. Moisés Linares de Telemundo 44 aquí en la capital. ¿Qué se siente lograr esta gran meta? Te vemos entre lágrimas. Veo muchos colegas que, bueno, están aquí por ti, porque este es un día especial para Colombia, es un día especial para todos los latinos que ven la NBA, y verte llegar hasta este momento, aunque solo fueron pocos minutos, ¿qué significa para ti y qué está pasando por tu mente?
Mira, por mi mente ahora mismo solamente hay seguir trabajando, seguir explotando mis habilidades, seguir creyendo en mí. Esto no es ni el final ni el inicio, esto es la continuación de todo el trabajo que he hecho durante toda mi carrera, y pues Dios ha abierto las puertas exactas para yo estar en este preciso momento. Jamás en mi vida pensé ser el primero, ni el segundo, ni el tercero, y las oportunidades llegan a tu puerta cuando tú menos te lo esperas, y solamente es aprovecharlas y dar lo mejor de ti. Seguir trabajando, es lo único que pienso, seguir trabajando para que esto no sea de 10 días, sino que sea por años.
Rafael.
Jaime, felicidades. Aquí Rafael de TAP Deportes de Puerto Rico. ¿Cómo se siente estar en la NBA y cuál tú piensas que es tu rol con este equipo?
Mira, es una sensación que yo lo dije en pretemporada a uno de mis compañeros. Yo jamás como fan había asistido a un NBA game. Tengo mucho ego por mí. Y yo dije, y la primera vez que fui a NBA game estaba siendo parte de él, que fue contra los Houston Rockets en pretemporada. Después de eso, nosotros tenemos free tickets para los juegos y mi ego no me dejaba ir a la arena para ver los apoyaba viendo los partidos de casa, pero jamás dije, yo no voy a ir a un partido si no hago parte de él. Y yo creo que gracias a Dios las cosas se dieron. Mi rol está claro y mis cualidades como jugador son muy claras. Rebotear, correr la cancha, defender el aro, son cosas primordiales para mí que me van a dar los minutos necesarios y es lo que tengo que hacer al alto nivel.
Gracias.
Francamente hablando.
Hola Jaime, yo creo que la emoción es para toda Colombia. No creas que eres el único que está así en esta situación. Todos los que te conocemos y que están viviendo este momento, estamos muy emocionados. Disculpa si en cualquier momento se llega a entrecortar la voz, pero es la emoción que sentimos desde que se conoció la noticia. Primero quisiera saber qué tanto le pediste a Dios, qué tanto hablaste con tu familia, con tu mamá, con tu papá, con tus amigos del barrio San Pachito, como se reconoce popularmente. ¿Qué tanto hablaste con él y con Dios para que llegara este momento?
Mira, desde el showcase han pasado muchas cosas que me las reservo para mí mismo. Y obviamente al momento de ver que hay muchos call-ups de muchos equipos, te comienza a cuestionar, es que eso no soy bueno, es que qué es lo que está pasando. Pero en ningún momento me frustré, en ningún momento me dio envidia, me alegré por las personas que llegaron call-up. Desde el más profundo de mi corazón, en ningún momento sentí ninguna clase de como que frustración. Al contrario, yo le decía a Dios, Dios, sí, y siempre lo que he hecho, desde que me fui a mi casa a los 17 años hasta hoy a mis 24, ha sido lo mismo. Dios, tú abrirás las puertas y me colocarás en los lugares para ser exitoso y hasta ahora Dios nunca me ha fallado. Anoche precisamente han sido una semana muy dura y anoche precisamente no estaba ni frustrado. Me acosté y le dije, mira Dios, sí, yo sé que lo que tú tienes guardado para mí, eso no me lo va a quitar nadie. Y así fue, o sea, me acosté muy contento y precisamente esta mañana fue algo muy rápido y pues nada, hablé con mis compañeros, hablé con mis padres, les conté la noticia, mi mamá llorando, mi papá muy contento, a mis grupos, amigos, mejor dicho, nos cae la dicha. No he podido abrir mi celular mucho tiempo porque yo no contesto mensajes cuando es el día de partido. Y pues ahora que mi celular está que explota en estos momentos y pues nada, esto es para mi gente, para mi barrio, para mi ciudad, para mi país, para Sudamérica en general y pues que todos los sueños pueden hacerse realidad. Solamente hay que ser disciplinado y trabajar duro para ellos. Y desde que me fui de mi casa no he parado, no he parado. Y llegar a estos momentos es satisfactorio. Como lo dije anteriormente, muchas personas me dijeron que no era bueno. Yo le doy gracias a Dios por darme la motivación para seguir adelante.
Jaime, ya para culminar mi participación, ¿qué mensaje le dejas a Colombia y a Latinoamérica? Que sé que están pendientes, que sé que están viéndote, que sé que están emocionados, así como tú lo estás en este momento. ¿Qué mensaje le dejas a todos ellos?
Que vale la pena soñar. Se vale la pena soñar. Ese es mi mensaje.
Te agradecemos en nombre de todos los colombianos, Jaime. Abrazo, hermano. Te quiero.
We'll do last question to Wayne.
Hey, Jaime. First of all, congratulations on being the first Columbia-born player. I get to talk to you a lot when you play your games during the go-go. How does it mean to be a living proof of make lemonade?
Man, to take advantage of every opportunity.
There you go.
Is the best example that I can have of there, man. I never been discouraged at any decision that I've been making in my life. When my agents told me the best way to come back to the United States was going to Spain, I say, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I take advantage of that opportunity, no matter how far I was from my city in another continent, being even farther away from my family. I just take advantage of that opportunity. I got hurt and I improved myself, improved my body, improved mentally to grow up as a man and be able to take better decisions in my life. Going to summer league, I remember first game I didn't play. I just played like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and I didn't get discouraged. I was happy to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And the next game, I make lemonade.
There you go. and sticking with the make lemonade, Jaime, a lot of young guys and guys in general get discouraged. What was it that kept you going to you would realize your dream today?
And it can be encouraged the fact that I know it's a supreme force up there looking up to us that know that he's gonna put us in the best position to be successful. I learned that when you ask God for patience, He don't gonna give you patience. He's gonna test your patience. And when you tell God to ask for opportunities, He wanna make sure that you prepare yourself when the opportunity comes.
Mm-hmm.
So we never can tell God how to bless us. That's something I learned. God will bless us in the way that He is supposed to, and make sure we understand the process of it. So that's what I live by.
Mm-hmm. Hey, just want to say congrats, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, Jaime.
Hey, I want to still. Hey.
How did you feel coming out of protocols physically tonight? How were you kind of able to pull that off in your first game back?
First, praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for getting me back, being back out with the guys, keeping me healthy, keeping the fam healthy. For me, I was fine. It's just getting past those first couple minutes where you trying to get your wind back, but for the most part, I was cool. I haven't played since Utah game, but I'm blessed to be able to have some things in my house that keeps me in shape and make sure I don't lose a step. So, and then on top of that, just taking advantage of your rest time, taking advantage of film. There's always other ways you can get better. Wasn't in the gym every single day, but when I did, it was very productive, and I was happy to be back out there tonight.
You've said before that you were open to getting vaccinated. What do you do with this decision?
My family.
Did anything change about your family that changed your mind?
I'm just leaving it at that. I'm not going too deep into it.
Welcome back to you guys. ACP, Coach Unseld said that you kind of stayed in the basement or something like that. What was this last week?
Oh, man, my last week was, I would say it wasn't lonely, but it was lonely. I was in the basement by myself, pretty much the whole the protocol I had. But it was fun. Like Brad said, I'm blessed to have things in my house, to keep me, focused. I can get some work in. I can, just chill and relax and take advantage of that sleep time.
Either one of you guys have both kind of mentioned that things to stay in shape physically. I mean, what's it like mentally not being with the team, having to watch things on TV and not being able to help out?
It's always tough, man. I mean, it's tough because it's not just us; it's the whole league. Everybody's losing bodies. Everybody's picking up guys from the G. All over the place. So it's. I think the frustrating part for us is, well, at least for me, is I was negative the entire time, and I missed 3 games because of that. So I think that's the frustrating part with my situation is, I didn't didn't have COVID and I had to miss 3 games because of it, you know. So it's tough, you know, because we're competitors. We know we know how important we are to the team. And it was funny because when we came back, everybody was like running up to us, giving us hugs, like they haven't seen us, and like, we're just these new kids on the block, like, oh my God, you know. So that was a good feeling though. It was good to be able to be back around the guys and to be able to see that, you know, they know what we can bring. They know how, you know, the energy changes when we're around. So that was a good feeling to have, and it was definitely a good win.
Brad, for clarity's sake, if you're testing negative, is that just contact tracing situation? How do you explain that?
Yeah, that's all I said. It's contact tracing. Yeah.
Fred, you were one of the few guys last year, I believe, who didn't go under protocol. We had all that time off, and I know it affected you guys as a team coming back after that 2 years. Is there anything you've learned or that, you know, the training staff has told you differently, going through that experience that allows you to do so sharp coming back this time?
Not really. Every person is different. Everybody's mindset is different. Like it's more mental than anything. Obviously, you want to take care of your body, but you know, making sure you're eating right, not gaining weight too quick. You know, it's like it's a lot of stuff you got to factor in. You know, so for us, I think you being mentally ready to go. You know, once you know it's okay, this is when you're back. You know, I prepared myself these last 3 to 4 days of getting on the court, getting back into a rhythm, getting back to how I was before I left. You know, so it was just kind of getting back to the routine. And once I did that, you know, it's muscle memory. It's like riding a bike again.
I mean, I would say my first day, that's when I just body aches, you know, fever. And after that first day, I was fine for remaining on my protocol, my quarantine. So you know, that first day was real tough, and then after that, I was fine, back to being normal. Still pretty much had my taste, smell, everything pretty much. So basically just waiting out the quarantine.
Make sure I understand this and represent this correctly. Is this mayor's decree about people having to be vaccinated to get into this building, or does that have anything to do with your vaccination decision?
No. Granted, I think we were aware of that at the time, right when they threw me into protocol, but it wasn't. Like I said at the beginning of the year, this is always something I've been thinking about, you know, and it's obviously came a point to where I was like, okay, you know, just get it out the way and not have to deal with it. But there's still a lot of questions I still have. There's still, you know, we're us around the league. We're trying to figure out, you know, how we can be better, how we can still be safe. And, you know, 90% of our league is vaccinated. You know, we're still going down like flies, you know, so we're just trying to make sure that we're all protected, you know. And for me, it's selfishly, I'm more concerned about my father and my family. So last thing I want to do is see him in the hospital and on the table. So if that helps, then okay, I'll do it. But I still have a lot of questions and concerns about it for sure. 100%. Thank you.
Just talked to Jaime, and I think he cried 8 times. Please talk to us. What was it like seeing him? Did you notice, I guess, the emotions of, you know, he made history tonight being the first Colombian NBA player?
Damn, I didn't know that. My man Jaime, I didn't know that.
Jaime is.
I did not know that.
That's my
guy.
guy.
That's my guy too. Yeah,
Always like great energy, always smiling on this with a smile on his face. When I see him, he's always dapping me up, you know, getting a hug. Even got a hug today when I seen him.
Yeah,
so like, yeah, that's a great dude, man. He's always, for me, he's always smiling and just with that great energy.
That's amazing. I think it's like, I say that for all guys, you know, who have an opportunity to be able to achieve their dreams, you know. And it's crazy, like this year is a year for a lot of guys, you know, because we understand how it's hard to get here. It is hard. I think a lot of people have it kind of misconstrued. They think a lot of stuff that we do is easy. They think getting to the league is easy. It is not, man. You know, and then you have so many guys in the G who are deserving of being up here. You know, these guys actually deserve spots. And a lot of them just don't have that opportunity, you know. So, you know, for a lot of guys are fortunate to be able to have, opportunities that, and a lot of them are taking advantage of it, and we have a couple on our team too. So, to see Brad Wanamaker come over and start for us and have the impact he had, granted he's a pro, like he's done this before. But for Jaime, that's unbelievable. I'm ecstatic for him. He's a true hard worker. He's an unbelievable kid. And then when he comes in, it's like Pope said, it's just, he enlightens the group. He just lifts the group, his energy, his presence. He's always great to be around him, Jay Good, Joel, everybody. Like those guys are always fun to have around. And it's always good to be able to see them get their opportunity.
You weren't happy with the way you played individually early in the year.
Mhm.
Now you've strung along the games you've been able to play.
Still not happy.
Yeah, just say my question. Why is that? How do you feel about the game?
I would say this. I would take back everything I said about myself a few weeks ago because I was too critical of myself. We're as human beings, we're always, I know me specifically, I'm super critical of myself. Nobody, fan, media, coaches, my mom, Pope, like nobody's going to hold themselves to a higher standard than what I do. Nobody's going to push themselves harder than I do. Nobody's going to critique themselves and put themselves down more than I do. But why? Why? Like, I know who I am. I'm confident in who I am. And it's kind of like what KD said, like, I'm Kevin Durant. I'm Bradley Beal. Like, we all know who I am. We all know what I'm capable of doing. Let me just go out and do that and have fun doing it. Don't take the joy out of the game. Like, this game is fun. We've played this game since we were little, and we played it because it was fun. And I just got back to that joy. That's it. Didn't complicate it, didn't overthink it. Just played how I know how I can play.
I think in however many years, but I don't think I've heard you say anything like that sentiment. How did you get to that place about yourself?
I would say it's my spirituality. Honestly, I've transitioned and put myself in a place with God to where He's in control. Like I've taken a back seat to everything in my life, like basketball, my family, my boys, my wife, my kids, everything I endure, everything that I face on a day to day. It's like I just kind of let things happen. Like if whatever happens, good, bad, ugly. I'm not in control of it. And just in understanding that, having that faith, having that trust, having that sense of peace. There's nothing like having God's peace. Like there's nothing that can bother you. There's nothing that can alter your universe. Like you're good, and that's how I am right now. I'm good.
Christos?
Hello, congratulations on the win, guys, first of all. Bradley, how needed was that performance for this team, mentally wise, and how important is to keep that momentum of that performance?
It was super important. I know we've been talking because we haven't played the last 3 games, so for us we were excited to just be back, just to be able to get back on the floor, touch the basketball, get up and down. But in the back of my head, I understood where we were as a team. I think we lost 2 out of the last 3, but our team wasn't, in our games. Granted, we're depleted in some areas, but I know we're still missing us too. Like we're still, we're still missing Rui, we're missing TV, we're still missing pieces, but I understand the impact I have when I'm around the team, and same with him. Like it's whether you like it or not, we're kind of thrusted into that position of leadership. And so it was to be able to feel like I felt the energy today, like when I walked in the building. Like you could feel the camaraderie built up. You could feel everybody ready to go. And that's all I want. That's all I want to do. That's all we want to do tonight. And granted, that's a really tough team. They've been playing their tails off, over the last 12, 15 games, and so for us, we realized that, and we cut their water off, or at least tried to, for the majority of the game. And we all played together. I think that's what happened. We played together on both ends of the floor, and we got it done.
And how many steps in the right direction you feel like you made?
Well, I wouldn't count the steps, Christos, but I'm sure we've made a few of them. I'm sure we made a few going, in the right direction. And I think that's a great question because that's that's been kind of our Achilles heel, is developing that consistency, game after game after game. And that's funny because I think that's what Coach said after talking to one of our assistants. We're going back to our bad habits, so we got to eliminate those. And, this is a great momentum game, a great feel-good game to build off of. But we got 2 more tough ones coming in here, so we got to make sure we're ready to go.
Thank you very much. Keep up.
Raphael?
Beal, Pope, hope you guys are good. The question is for the both of you. How does it feel to be back on the court with the same intensity and the game and do what you guys normally do?
I feel like it felt good just to be out there, like that energy that was shown tonight, that came from just being in the locker room with the guys, just being able to get back on the court and just play, our game. It just, like, I would just say it just felt good just to be back in the gym.
Thank you.
Karita?
Hey, Brad, I just wanted to go back to something you said earlier about getting your joy back and having God's peace. Was there like a particular moment where you just said, like, I just got to let go and I can't control things?
It's funny you asked that. It's kind of been an inner battle I've been having with myself over the last couple of months. Granted, I've had a lot of adversity and that, you try to figure out and find yourself, find others, be there for others. And, you're not necessarily taking care of yourself. And so for me, it was just realizing that, I'm not him. Like, I can't control everything. I can't make people happy all the time. You're not going to please everybody, and there's going to be some things that I just fully just cannot control in my own life, things that I want to go a certain way, and they go the complete opposite. And so when you're in those predicaments like that, it's clearly your voice telling you, like, yo, let go. Like, you have to let go. Where's your faith? Who do you trust? It's crazy. I have a tattoo on my left leg. It says, who are you playing for? It's just a constant reminder for me. Like, every time I'm out there on the floor, who am I playing for? Like, so stuff isn't going our way. Like, who are you playing for? Like, gets me back to that mindset of being joyful, being appreciative for the things I have, for the things I've been through, for the people around me, the teammates I have, just embracing it all. But when you let go, it's amazing what he can do. He's a lot smarter than us. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are having those moments lately. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Last question, Neil.
Hey guys, first off, glad that you guys are back feeling better. Brad, for you, what were you able to do while you were in protocols, and I guess what was also the level of symptoms that you had to deal with?
I was able to get shots up. Well, like I said before, I'm blessed to have some things in my house that I didn't have when I was a kid. I have a gym in my house, so I was able to get shots up and lift. I pretty much do everything that I would do on the normal, just keep my routine up, kind of pick up my rhythm for, last game I played in Utah and just kind of find that back and just keep it going. It's definitely tough when you're out a week and a half or more than that, and it's just, you're trying to find your way. So for me, it's just staying engaged. We missed the game in Miami and realized that we had 3 days, before Cleveland to get right. And I took full advantage of them. I worked my tail off the last few days, get my body right. Well, we got a long year and it's definitely a long January. I think we're at home 2-3 weeks, so that benefits us. But we still got tough games that coming up. But taking care of your body is always key, whether you're playing or not playing.
And if you can enlighten me, what's the 21203?
I couldn't tell you if I wanted to. I know this is a Supreme joint. I know this ain't my area code. Honestly, I don't think it's any area code, honestly.
It's an area code in Baltimore, so I was confused.
Oh, it
I was
is?
like,
Oh, I know that. My bad, Be More, baby. Baby. I love my Be More folks. You did, huh? 21203. Nah, we all good.
appreciate it. Thanks, Brad.
That's it. Thank you both.
No.